Alright guys, today we're making spinach dip, which in my opinion is in that S tier of appetizers. Argue amongst yourselves in the comments. This recipe is going to be a quick one, so let's get into it. Start off by throwing a stick of butter into a large pan.
Let's go, first try.
Y'all better watch out before I go #1 overall, for real. But to that, add half a diced onion and let that saute for about 5 minutes. Stir frequently and keep the heat on medium so that the butter doesn't burn. Next, you'll want to toss almost an entire bag of okay, maybe not that aggressively, but you want to toss an entire bag of spinach and let that cook down. I know it looks like a lot right now, but after a few minutes, it'll reduce to half that size. Once that happens, it's time to start adding the cheese. For my spinach dip, I use cream cheese, cheddar cheese, smoked Gouda, and Parmesan. Almost any blend of cheeses will work. I just recommend that you shred them yourself. You and your date will see the difference in the end. Speaking of dates, I took my girl on one the other week. If you haven't seen it already, I have a video on my TikTok and Instagram of how it went down. And that's 2 scoops of sour cream going in there, by the way. Nothing fancy. Quick story time / rant. So if you haven't seen the video already, we went to Bun B's All-American Takeover at the Houston Rodeo. He brought out different stars from all types of eras. It was a great show, to be honest, but okay, just listen to the story. So we knew we wanted to go to the concert a while back. I even made arrangements to take off of work that day. So I'm looking at the prices like 2 weeks ago from the event date, and they're pretty reasonable. No more than like $100 for decent seats, which I was fine with. Even with the crazy service charges they apply, which is a conversation for another day, I felt comfortable buying them. And then I let procrastination kick in. I'll put some of the footage up from the night right now so y'all can see some of the performances. Nelly, Eve, and Rick Ross got the crowd going, but the Yin Yang Twins had everyone out their seats. I can't play the audio due to copyright, but y'all get the picture. Anyways, back to the story. Hindsight is 2020, but at that time I figured the price could only go up maybe another $20 or so, which I was still cool with. Y'all couldn't even imagine the horror in my face when I typed in tickets to the Houston Rodeo about a week before the event date. The tickets weren't on the first link. They weren't on the second or the third. The only thing that popped out was just announced Drake will be performing at the Houston. Man, I could have cried. My heart sunk to my ass when I clicked that SeatGeek link. Then prices jumped to $500. I almost crashed out like dual AA12s with a switch to my MacBook. Man, I was so hurt. And it's not that I don't like Drake, you know, I have lots of his songs on my Spotify, okay? But I wanted to go for a decent price and go see all the people there. And I just felt hurt that I had missed out on a great deal. But anyways, I am a man of my word and we still ended up going. It was a great show and I had fun for all 90 minutes of it, even if I did have to sell my PS5. Alright, but anyways y'all, go check out that video and make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms for more content like that. For anyone wondering what I was doing in the video these last few minutes, it's literally just adding cheese and constantly stirring. For seasoning, get you some onion powder, garlic powder, and some black pepper to taste. Follow that up with some Cajun seasoning of your choice and a dash of smoked paprika. I also added half a cube of chicken bouillon to take it to the next level, but that part's up to you. To get everything smooth, add in a half cup of heavy whipping cream and mix it in. So technically, the dip is done, but if you're anything like me, you need some texture on there. Grab a baking pan that's deep enough to hold everything and spray the insides with some cooking oil so that it doesn't stick. At this point, you'll want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let it get all the way to temp. This will also be a good time to turn on your fryer or let a pot of oil start heating up for the next part. Once the dip is in the pan, use the shredded cheese that you have left to blanket the top. This will layer the flavor and have your dip looking better than the ones at the restaurant. After that, get it into the oven and be sure to keep an eye on things so that the top doesn't burn. You should be good for about 20 minutes, so don't worry too much. Now it's time for the fun stuff. While you could just grab some chips from the store to save time, making them yourself are gonna taste 10 times better. Get a pack of medium-sized corn tortillas and slice them into quarters. But before you even drop these in, make sure you have whatever tool ready to flip them, mine was a spatula, and something to put the final product on. I would recommend getting a plate or a bowl lined with paper towel to soak up the excess grease. They should come out looking something like this. Hopefully you've already got your oil hot enough because it's time to fry. To get them crispy, they only need about 30 seconds on each side. I also press down on them a little so that they can cook evenly. Once the chips get to that light brown color, take them out immediately. They'll continue to cook for a few seconds out the pan, so don't let that fool you. While they're still hot, sprinkle enough salt to raise your blood pressure and shake them up a bit. By now, it'll be time to take the spinach dip out of the oven and serve. And there you have it. Homemade spinach dip, right in time to see your favorite team lose to a 16th seed. Anyways, thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe and leave a like so you don't miss anything from the night.